Well, so much has changed since the beginning of the pandemic, from the way we eat to how we learn. Life literally changed before our eyes, but the pandemic is also opening the eyes of business owners, and it's showing them how great it is here in the Central Valley. And here to talk more about moving his business from the Bay Area to beautiful Fresno, California, is Jeffrey DePonte, CEO of Exhibit Supply. Jeffrey, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for being here.
Okay, so let's start with, where were you before you landed in Fresno?
We were in Oakland, California.
And how was business going there?
We were doing good. We were growing and we were just expanding. We started off doing custom canopies was our first product. That was our flagship. And then we did table covers. And the plan in 2020 was we were expanding into the trade show displays, things like these right here.
Yeah.
And more indoor displays for trade shows, events, larger clients. And we made the investment. We started stocking all the hardware. We were getting ready. We had the big push. March 2020 was we were going to really get out there and get busy. And there was
I don't think you could have picked a worse date than March 2020, because that's like really when it all went down.
For sure.
So you know, you have this growing business, you do displays, so you do canopies, you do table skins, you do indoor trade shows, and then the pandemic happens. And how do you land on moving to Fresno? How does that transition happen?
Well, our long-term plan was always to have a distribution center in Fresno. There is no better location than Fresno for distribution for the West Coast. This was always going to be our West Coast distribution center, but we planned on establishing our retail location in Oakland first, and then making this our distribution center and having retail locations in Las Vegas and LA and Reno that would be supplied from this location.
Yeah.
And the pandemic hit and I was shut down, and I didn't know it was going to be this long, but I knew it wasn't going to be overnight. And I saw that, you know, we had 2 years left on our lease. We have a lot of overhead, a pretty big facility in Oakland. And it was just the opportunity to get out of there, because we were paying so much money, and it turned into just a storage. We had a showroom floor that was freshly remodeled. We had a warehouse. We had offices upstairs. We were ready to go. And I just had to cut the cord and take this opportunity and just get out here and just kind of start over. We never really got to open in Oakland. We had done business, but we hadn't opened our new showroom. We hadn't opened our new location. So really, we're starting here. We've been in business and we've been doing this, but we never really got to open for the public yet. And it's gonna happen here.
So what do you think of Fresno?
I love it.
Yeah?
I think it's great. The people are awesome. Like, that's the one thing, like, when I did a lot of research and I studied, and I know this area pretty well. And there's a lot of benefits of being here, you know, lower overhead, location, logistics type of stuff, all the business things that, you as a CEO that I had to research. But the thing that I missed was just the people, the community here. It has that small town feel, and it's a big city. And it's, it's the 5th largest city in California. It's a recognizable name nationwide. And so the opportunity that we have here is just great. Like, I feel this is the best place to grow a business. Like, it's a great place to grow vegetables and fruit, but I think it's a great place to grow a business.
You're catching on. You're catching on to what we're all about here in Fresno. And Fresno also has, even some of the smaller cities around here in the Central Valley, they have really active chambers. And so they're really passionate about getting business to come here, getting business to stay here, and growing really reputable, big business that's founded and, that's incorporated here. So tell everybody about Exhibit Supply. Who are you guys? What do you guys do? We touched on it a little bit, but what's your business?
Well, first, I do want to say that the chambers here are awesome.
Yeah.
The first thing we did, we joined Fresno and the Clovis Chamber. Both have been amazing.
Yeah.
And so I just want to touch on that.
But well, and I lived in Northern California for like 6 years, and it's a really cool place to live. I have family up there, but they're really big cities. Not to say that Fresno isn't a city, but it feels a little bit smaller than it actually is.
Yeah, well, I mean, Fresno has 500,000 people.
Yeah, it's big.
And it feels like a small town. Like,
yeah.
To me, it's like the opposite of Reno. Reno's like the biggest little city.
Yeah.
Like, this is the littlest big city. And it's just awesome, because just the sense of community here is just, it's like we have smaller cities in the Bay Area. We were members of a chamber of a smaller city.
Sure.
And it's like that feel is what we have here, but it's just so much bigger.
Right. Right.
It's awesome. I love it.
Well, cool. I love that perspective. So who is Exhibit Supply? What do you guys do? What's your sort of vision for your business?
We're the premier trade show and custom canopy company. We're here to provide a value against, there are some bigger companies that charge a little more, and then there's always cheaper stuff, and we're trying to be more of the value brand. Good quality products at an affordable price, and coming to a place like Fresno is going to allow us to do that because we have a lower overhead, so we can be competitive with price as well. We're based in the Bay Area. Like right now, we would be raising our prices a lot.
Yeah.
And we haven't had to raise our prices because we're here.
Right, so we can make it a little bit more affordable here. So you guys do like table skins, you do custom tablecloths, you do displays like this, and what are these things used for? I know that a lot of people talk about trade shows, but they can be used, businesses have all kinds of uses for these things, so who might be your target audience?
Any business, and like things like these are used indoors even a lot. A lot of our display stands, companies use indoors as well. Like if you go to a Macy's, like they have the tension fabric displays inside the store. Yeah. And so they're not only for trade shows, they're often used in, especially table covers. Yeah. Like you go, anywhere you go, you see table covers. That's a really commercial product. Like anybody can use that. And canopies, we just went through the pandemic where everything was outside. So everybody knows what canopies can be used for. It definitely can let you eat outside and not have the sun on your head. Yeah, and if you're in the Central Valley, you know that we have farmers markets literally every day somewhere. So if you need a custom canopy for your farm or your small, food maker's business, you got to come to Exhibit Supply. How can people get in touch with you? How can they find you? We're all over the internet and social media, exhibitsupply.com. All social media is at Exhibit Supply, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube. Any social media there is, we're at Exhibit Supply. Okay, very cool. Jeffrey DePonte, he is the CEO of Exhibit Supply, and you're gonna make another appearance on the show. You're gonna make a big announcement, so we want to make sure that everybody stays tuned. Exhibit Supply, they're gonna do big things here. I know it. Thank you so much for inviting us out here and sharing your story with us. Thank you. I appreciate it. And stay right there because we have more Central Valley Today when we come back.